that the 54 African countries, their trade portfolio with the EU is less than 2%. Less than 2%. What is it that we are going to trade with the DRC? What does DRC grow? If you know the economics, you know, of the Democratic Republic of Congo, what do they grow? Not even a tomato, not even onion. Yes, they have minerals, but what do they grow that you are going to? We feed DRC using the Kasumbalesa border post, where 90% of the trade there is illegal. Doesn't bring money, you know, to ZRA. And that has been going on, my friend, from 1962, when Belgian Congo became independent, now DRC. From 1964, when Zambia became independent, whom is he telling? You know, unless he's telling a chap who is 20 years old or 10 years old, that is going to improve trade, and that's why he's going to DRC. There's no trade, any significant trade between Zambia and the DRC. Zero. To change the lives of Zambians.
Don't you think that can be, you know, rectified, seeing that has been happening for that many years? Now that, you know, we have new leadership in place, and try to find a way to, you know, monetize whatever's going on at Kasumbalesa border,
Peter,
and make sure Zambia earns more money from the exports that we make to Congo.
Peter, you ought to understand the history. You ought to read and understand the history of African countries, their colonial history and their post-colonial history. If you understand that, you'll be ashamed to make some of the statements that we hear from African leaders. Okay? An interview of President Paul Kagame of Rwanda. And the interviewer asked him, do you and President Museveni of Uganda talk to one another? And Kagame, candid as he always is, said no. We have border differences, so I don't talk to him. So you must understand the history of colonial. HH understands, I'm sure, in the field of economics, where which is his field, he must have read a bit of history. He must have read a bit about even political economy. Okay? If he did, he can't stand at the airport and tell us that this trip is going to improve trade between DRC and, like I've said, there is no production in DRC, Bwana, apart from the minerals. That country is at war, and it has been at war since the assassination of Patrice Lumumba in 1963. It has been at war. It's a country that is unable to get any benefits from its resources. They have no infrastructure in terms of roads. I remember speaking to one diplomat after their election, you know, the election of the last election of Kabila, and I said to him, how did you guys certify the you know, the election in DRC when less than half, you know, of the registered voters, the ballot papers didn't reach not even half the country? You know what his answer was? Winter, DRC is a very difficult country. There are places where there are completely no roads and you can't take any ballot box there.
Ababa neswaba baleshta cut off it uko ko Australia. Why can't we take advantage of that? Angola, do you know where they buy their beef from? Argentina. Argentina, guys. Are you saying Mozambique, we can't raise enough heads of cattle to be able to supply the market in Angola? Yes, we can. But the president has to engage his colleague to unlock that potential and turn it into a substantive market. Congo. The food market alone in Congo is worth close to $2 billion. Lionse fya bena Zambia nga watu shekofye nga mwaka sumbaleza. Umwina Zambia nga wamwe ashitisheko vya kasaka kama tabana ngwaka abunga mu Congo bamwikata ni wesimagola bamukaka bamwika mukadiati. The president is saying we need to properly unlock the DRC market so that Zambia can formally boost its trade linkages with the DRC, so that Zambians can benefit. You and I can benefit. Fino tulelanda abena Zambia baleri mamata yali amatabanga yapya tukashitana wenshi. We need to sell it. There's a ready market in the DRC. But in order for abena Zambia bakaleko kula bekatapadia watushtishe baku ikatabaku mefcourt, there needs to be proper trade linkages. A relationship must be established between the DRC and Zambia. So when the president says na yaku DRC, tekumangalo kulia yo. Tekumangalo. Right now we're talking about the world moving and transitioning towards electric cars. Those things are going to need batteries. Between Zambia and Congo, we can build a trade relationship robust enough, which can play a role in making sure that the demand, the global demand for electric car batteries is well serviced. They need to agree. So bring back jobs. Ilibaile ku Scotland. But tabala no kuwera. We signed a £1 billion, not dollars, £1 billion Green Growth Compact Agreement to boost and attract green investments in this country. This is real money. If it then out of that same £1 billion, £100 million is designated to go towards small businesses. Number fish fimbi. Umufyasha enda fumapanga ndana mukufwaya aleta. Futi mwe lishani atinishi mwachila. You know, she la pusha by Eugene. It's really important. With his counterparts. As a matter of tradition, we need to build those trade linkages, consolidate our position as a country as an investment destination, not just for our neighbors here within the region, but on the continent and the global community. Now, Shirefo kupanga ama comparisons with what our colleagues did. Bameba tiyo, ukutwaya, kukesa, fyo ya 5 kwacha. Shirefo kupanga ama comparisons. Inendefo kumia fati, ukutwaide, tuwaleterefi. Ukutwaide, tuwaleterefi. Diatwade ku US, tuwamiletere 1.6 million vaccines aya COVID. Itwa ku Scotland, tuwamiletere £1 billion worth of a Green Growth Compact Agreement. Ilituya ku Botswana, we're discussing how can Zambia play a part in fulfilling demand requirements for cattle feed in Botswana. Ku Congo, chimochile twala chitashana. So the president will continue to move around. But in moving around, he has made it very clear. We need to minimize costs. This is why the delegation is really, really small.